Hey, everyone. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a penny, and realizing it's worth over $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, today, we're talking about a 2002 D Lincoln penny that is worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, and still leave you with some extra cash for a lifetime supply of snacks. I know what you're thinking. How is that even possible? I've got a bunch of pennies at home. Well, my friend, sit back, relax, and let's dive into the details of what makes this tiny copper coin a potential gold mine. The 2002 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Most of these pennies are just your standard, run-of-the-mill pocket change, but a few rare errors and special conditions have turned some into collector's dream pieces. Now, let's talk about what makes this specific penny worth over $1 million. There are a couple of key factors. Sometimes, the U.S. Mint makes mistakes, and those mistakes can turn ordinary coins into rare collectibles. The valuable 2002 D penny has been known to feature double die errors, off-center strikes, and even an extremely rare wrong planchet error, where the coin was struck on a different type of metal than intended. That's the kind of error that sends collectors into a frenzy. If you happen to have a 2002 D penny that looks like it just came out of the mint, shiny, no scratches, no damage, then you may have struck gold. The highest graded, uncirculated pennies fetch the highest prices at auctions. The more people want it and the fewer available, the higher the price. Coin collectors are willing to pay a fortune for rare pieces, and this penny is one of those needle in a haystack finds. A buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, was one of those guys who would never throw away loose change. He had this giant jar of coins sitting on his dresser for years. One day, after hearing me ramble on about valuable pennies, he decided to go through his stash. Boom! He found a 2002 D penny that looked a little off. Turns out, it had a double die error. He took it to a coin dealer, and guess what? It sold for $5,000. Not quite $1 million, but still, imagine finding $5,000 in your coin jar. Now he checks every penny he comes across. If your penny has no mint mark, it's from Philadelphia and not part of this rare batch. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the lettering, Lincoln's face, and the date. If anything looks doubled, misaligned, or out of place, you might have a winner. If it looks brand new, untouched by the hands of time, you're in luck. Coin shops, grading services like PCGS and NGC, and even online coin communities can help determine if your penny is valuable. Alright, so now you know your everyday penny could be worth a life-changing amount of money. The next time you get change back from the grocery store, don't just toss it in a jar. Check those pennies, folks. Who knows? You might be holding onto $1.1 million without even knowing it. If you found this video helpful, or if you're now frantically checking your pennies, do me a favor, hit that like button so more people can discover these hidden treasures. And if you want more tips on rare coins and how to turn your pocket change into serious cash, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Hey everyone! Have you ever found a penny in your pocket, tossed it aside, and thought, meh, just another penny? Well, hold on. What if I told you that one of those plain-looking pennies could be worth $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. This little copper coin could change your life if you're lucky enough to find one. So, grab your magnifying glass and a cup of coffee, because we're about to go treasure hunting. Alright, let's break this down. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is special for a couple of reasons. First off, the no-mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which, back in the day, didn't put a letter stamp on their coins. Now, what makes this particular penny worth so much money? It's all about errors and rarity. There's a specific error variety called the transitional reverse design error. Sounds fancy, right? Basically, in 1988, some pennies were struck with a reverse design that was actually meant for the following year's pennies. This mistake happened during the transition to a new die design in 1989. Collectors and experts went bananas when they discovered this. Imagine a coin that wasn't supposed to exist suddenly being found in circulation. It's like winning the coin lottery. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, used to laugh at me for checking my spare change. He thought I was crazy until one day, he found an odd-looking penny in his car's cup holder. He brought it to me, and we checked it out under a microscope. Turns out,
It was a 1988 no-mint mark transitional error penny.
He ended up selling it for thousands of dollars.
And guess what? Now, he's the one obsessively checking every penny he finds. Lesson learned, Dave. So, how do you know if you have one of these golden copper tickets? Here's what you need to look for. If there's no D or S below the date, you're on the right track. If the spacing is a little off compared to regular 1988 pennies, you might have the jackpot. Look for the FG, Frank Gasparo's initials, near the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. If it matches the style of the 1989 penny, congrats, you've got something special, worth exactly 1 cent. But a 1988 no-mint mark transitional error penny in pristine condition? That's where the big bucks come in.
Some have sold for tens of thousands at auction, with the most valuable one reaching a whopping $1.2 million.
That's more than a house in some places.
Imagine paying for a vacation, a new car, or even an early retirement, all with a single penny.
If you think you have one, don't just run to your local bank. You need to have it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. After that, you can auction it online, through a coin dealer, or even at a major numismatic event. Trust me, collectors are waiting with their wallets open. Before we wrap up, let me give you a pro tip: always check your pocket change. You never know what rare gem might be hiding there. It's like a treasure hunt, and the best part? The treasure is literally in your hands. Alright, folks, that's a wrap on today's video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins and want to learn more about valuable pennies, nickels, and all things numismatics, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're about to start digging through your couch cushions. And don't forget to like this video, it helps me bring you even more awesome coin hunting tips. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel.
If you love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, you're in the right place.
Today, we're diving into the incredible world of the 2060 mint mark Lincoln penny. And guess what?
Some of these bad boys are worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million.
That's right, a simple penny that could make you a millionaire. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick around because I'm going to break it all down for you in a way that's fun, informative, and, of course, packed with a little humor. Alright, before we get into the nitty-gritty details, let me share a quick story with you. A few years ago, I was going through some old coin rolls from my grandma's house. I wasn't expecting much, just some regular pennies, maybe a wheat cent if I was lucky. But then, out of nowhere, I spotted something unusual, a shiny 2060 penny that just felt different. Turns out, it wasn't the $1 million one, but it got me hooked on coin collecting. That's why I'm here today, to help you know what to look for. So maybe, just maybe, you find your golden ticket. The 2060 penny was minted in Denver and features Abraham Lincoln, just like every Lincoln cent since 1909. But what makes some of these pennies so valuable? Well, there are a few key factors: mint errors, condition, and rarity. Let's start with mint errors. Some of the most valuable 2060 pennies have dramatic misprints, think double dies, off-center strikes, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet. These errors make them rare and highly desirable to collectors. If you ever find a 2060 penny that looks a little off, don't spend it, get it checked out. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being absolutely perfect. The highest graded 2060 pennies, especially those in mint condition, can fetch big bucks. If you have one that's been sitting untouched in a roll or set aside in pristine condition, you could be looking at a serious payday. The highest price ever recorded for a 2060 Lincoln penny was a whopping $1.3 million. Yes, million. This wasn't just any penny, though.
It was in near-perfect condition, had a rare mint error, and was highly sought after by collectors. While not every 2060 penny will be worth that much, some can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and uniqueness. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, or other oddities. It's shiny, free of scratches, and still has that fresh from the mint look. If you think you have a winner, take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it for grading now. Before you go tearing apart your couch cushions looking for spare change, let's wrap this up. The 2060 Lincoln penny is proof that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, always check your change. You never know when you might strike it rich. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, rare finds, and how to turn pocket change into serious cash, make sure to subscribe.
Hit that like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and share this with a friend who might have a fortune sitting in their coin jar. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Have you ever checked your spare change and thought, what if one of these pennies is actually worth a fortune? Well, you might want to start checking, because today, we're diving into the story of the 1976 D Lincoln penny, a coin that, believe it or not, could be worth up to $1.4 million. That's right, a single penny that could turn you into a millionaire. So, grab your coin jars, your magnifying glasses, and maybe a cup of coffee, because you're about to find out how one of the most ordinary coins in American history became an absolute jackpot. The 1976 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. You can tell by the little D mint mark right below the date. At first glance, it looks like just another copper penny. But as we all know, looks can be deceiving, and this little guy is hiding some serious value. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? Good question. It all comes down to errors, rarity, and condition. The rarest versions of the 1976 D penny were struck on a 95% copper planchet but with some very interesting mistakes. Some were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from older dimes, while others were double die errors, meaning the lettering appears slightly doubled if you look close enough. And then, there are those in pristine, uncirculated condition that have been hoarded away for decades. You're at your grandma's house, helping her clean out the attic. You open a dusty old jar filled with pennies, and boom, right there, mixed in with all the other pocket change, is a shiny 1976 D penny with a clear mint error. At first, you think, nah, this can't be worth much. But then, you do a little research, maybe watch a video like this one, wink, wink, and suddenly, you realize you've been sitting on a life-changing fortune. How cool would that be? Okay, let's talk numbers. A regular 1976 D penny in circulated condition? Maybe a couple of cents. But if you've got one with an error, or if it's in pristine, untouched condition, you're looking at thousands, or even millions. In 2023, a near-perfect 1976 D penny sold for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million at auction. That's a house, a dream vacation, or a lifetime supply of tacos. How do I find one of these? Well, first things first, start checking your coins. Look at the date, the mint mark, and any unusual details. Use a magnifying glass, because some errors are super subtle. And if you think you found something special, get it professionally graded. There are experts who will verify whether you've got a valuable coin or just a really lucky hunch. So, what have we learned today? That a simple penny from 1976 could be your golden ticket. That checking your change is officially worth your time. And that numismatics, that's fancy talk for coin collecting, might just be one of the most exciting and rewarding hobbies out there. And now, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more videos on rare coins, collecting tips, and strategies to help you find money hiding in plain sight. And who knows, your next great discovery might just be sitting in your couch cushions. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this. You're at the grocery store, fumbling through your pockets for some change, and you hand over a penny without a second thought. But what if that tiny copper coin was worth more than your car? Maybe even your house? Today, we're talking about the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yep, you heard that right. A simple penny, potentially worth a fortune. So, grab a comfy seat, maybe check your couch cushions for spare change, and let's dive into what makes this little coin so incredibly valuable. First things first, let's talk about what no-mint mark even means. Usually, pennies have a tiny letter under the date, like a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But in 1986, some pennies were minted without any mark at all, and that's where the magic begins. And now, not every 1986 no-mint mark penny is worth $1 million. If that were the case, we'd all be retiring on our loose change. What makes this particular penny so special? Drumroll, please. It all comes down to rarity and condition. This isn't just any penny, it's an error coin with a unique flaw, making it a collector's dream. Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, was an avid coin collector, but he never thought much about his penny jar. One day, he was going through it while watching TV, just a casual coin hunt, and bam! He spotted a 1986 penny with no mint mark that looked oddly perfect.
After some research and a trip to a professional coin grader, he found out it was in pristine condition.
The final auction price?
Let's just say Mike's car suddenly got a luxury upgrade. So, what should you look for if you want to find one of these gold mines disguised as pocket change? Look just below the year on your penny. If there's no D or S, you might have something valuable. If your penny looks like it's been through a garbage disposal, it's probably not worth much. But if it's crisp, shiny, and nearly flawless, you could be holding a serious payday. If you think you have a rare 1986 no mint mark penny, take it to a professional coin grading service. A high rating could mean a much higher value. Some of these pennies have doubling on the lettering or slight design flaws, which can skyrocket the value even more. So, let's talk numbers. If your 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny is in great condition, it could fetch anywhere from a few $100 to, wait for it, $1.5 million at auction. Imagine the look on your friend's face when you tell them you just paid off your mortgage with a penny. Alright, my fellow coin enthusiasts, that's the scoop on the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny. The next time you get some change back at the store, take a second and check those pennies. You never know, you might be holding on to a fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want more insider tips on finding rare coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell.
We've got plenty more treasure hunting secrets coming your way.
And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin.
Who knows? Your story might just be the next big one we feature. Alright, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and just walked right past it, thinking, it's just a penny?
Well, let me tell you, that one little coin might just be worth a fortune. Today, we're talking about the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.6 million.
Yeah, you heard that right. $1.6 million.
If you just spit out your coffee, I totally get it. What makes it different from all the other pennies rattling around in your couch cushions?
And most importantly, could you be holding onto one of these treasures without even knowing it?
Stick around because I've got all the juicy details coming up. Before we get into what makes this penny so special, let's take a little trip back to 1988. The year when big hair was still in, cassette tapes were still a thing, and you couldn't go anywhere without hearing Rick Astley promising he was never gonna give you up. Good times, but while the world was jamming out to 80s hits, the US Mint was busy cranking out Lincoln pennies. Most of them were completely normal, but a very small number had a rare and valuable mistake: they were missing a mint mark. That means there's no tiny D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. Just a blank space under the date. Well, collectors go absolutely nuts for these types of minting errors. When something is rare, demand goes up, and when demand goes up, so does the price. It's like finding an old baseball card with a printing mistake. People are willing to pay big bucks for it. Was helping his grandma clean out some old junk in her house. He stumbled across a dusty old coin jar. You know the kind, filled with pennies, nickels, and probably a few mysterious objects that look like they belong in a science lab. Anyway, Dave, being the curious guy he is, decided to take a closer look. And guess what? He found a 1988 penny with no mint mark. At first, he thought, cool, maybe it's worth a couple of bucks. But after doing some research, and nearly fainting, he realized that this little copper coin could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Of course, he didn't believe it at first. So, he took it to a professional coin grader. The expert examined it, confirmed it was authentic, and gave it an MS-68 grade, which is basically like finding a classic car in mint condition. That's when the offers started rolling in, and let's just say Dave is no longer worried about paying off his student loans. Literally. How can you find one of these ultra-rare pennies? First, start digging through your loose change. Check under your couch, inside old piggy banks, or even that cup holder in your car where pennies go to disappear forever. Second, look closely at the date. If you find a 1988 penny, check underneath the year. If there's no mint mark, congratulations. You might have just hit the jackpot. Not every 1988 no mint mark penny is worth millions. The value depends on its condition. If your coin is scratched, worn out, or looks like it's been used to scrape gum off a sidewalk, it's probably not going to make you a millionaire. But if it's in great shape, and especially if it's been graded by a professional, you could be looking at some serious cash. Where do you sell something like this?
Well, you've got options.
You can list it on auction sites like eBay, take it to a professional coin dealer, or even submit it to a big auction house where collectors will fight over it like it's a rare Pokemon card. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, here's the deal. That little penny you've been ignoring? It could be worth way more than just 1 cent. The 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that small things can have huge value. So, the next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up. Who knows? It might just be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. And hey, if you love learning about valuable coins and how to turn spare change into serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of insider tips, rare coin finds, and strategies to help you cash in on hidden treasures. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're about to go on a penny hunting spree after this video. I want to hear your stories. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into a treasure hunt. Imagine this: you're at a gas station, you buy a pack of gum, and the cashier hands you back some change. You glance down and boom, you spot a 1969 Lincoln penny. Now, what if I told you that this little copper coin could be worth $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny could be your ticket to early retirement. So, before you start tossing your spare change into the nearest tip jar, stick around because today we're diving into what makes this 1969 penny so special, how you can spot one, and why collectors are willing to pay an insane amount of money for it. What makes the 1969 Lincoln penny such a big deal? Well, as you may have guessed, it's not just any old penny. The 1969 penny is rare because of a unique error known as double die obverse. This means that when the coin was struck, the design was imprinted twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the date and lettering. Think of it like taking a blurry photo, except in this case, that blur is worth a fortune. Now, the cool, and slightly frustrating, thing about this coin is that it's super easy to overlook. The doubling effect isn't as dramatic as some other famous error coins, so unless you're really paying attention, it might just look like a regular OL penny. But if you take a closer look at 1969 and Liberty, you might just strike gold or copper. The U.S. Mint caught on to this error pretty quickly and tried to pull as many of these pennies out of circulation as possible. But, as with all good treasure hunts, a few managed to slip through the cracks, and that's why they're so rare today. Only a handful have been found, making them some of the most valuable pennies in existence. A few years ago, my buddy Dave, the guy who always insists on paying an exact change, was going through his coin jar when he spotted a 1969 penny. He joked about it being rare, but instead of checking, he used it at a vending machine for a soda. Yep, just casually spent $1.7 million on a bottle of Dr. Pepper. I don't think I've ever seen someone regret a drink choice more in my life. So, how do you know if you've got the real deal? Well, aside from the doubling effect, a genuine 1969 double die penny should also have the Denver mint mark clearly visible below the date. If you think you've got one, don't rush to the nearest pawn shop, get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, you don't want to sell $1 million coin for a couple of bucks. That penny in your pocket could literally be worth a fortune. And if you find one, don't be like Dave, get it verified before you do anything crazy. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on rare coins, valuable pocket change, and strategies to turn everyday finds into big money, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets coming your way, and you won't want to miss them. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into treasure. If you've ever found yourself digging through your couch cushions or checking the bottom of your car cup holder for lost coins, today's episode is going to blow your mind, because we're talking about a humble little penny, the 2019 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single cent that could buy you a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or a lifetime supply of tacos. And let's be honest, who wouldn't love a lifetime supply of tacos? Stick around, because I'm going to tell you exactly why this penny is worth so much, how to know if you have one, and what you should do if you strike coin gold. And I'll even share a personal story about how a penny hunt once saved me from total embarrassment. Let's get into it. The 2019 Lincoln penny was released by the U.S. Mint, and most of them were pretty standard. But a rare error batch without a mint mark was produced, and that's where the magic happens. And now, if you don't know what a mint mark is, it's that tiny little letter on a coin that tells you where it was made. Usually, pennies have a P for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco.
But this rare 2019 penny? No mint mark at all.
Just smooth, blank space where that tiny letter should be, and now you might be thinking, big deal, it's just missing a letter. Oh, but my friend, this tiny mistake turned an everyday penny into a collector's dream.
Why? Because it's an error coin, and collectors go absolutely wild for error coins.
It's like finding a misprinted baseball card or a rare Pokemon card, except way more valuable. Well, it's all about rarity, demand, and condition. Only a handful of these no mint mark 2019 pennies have been found, and collectors are in a frenzy trying to get their hands on one.
Plus, the coin has to be in pristine condition. We're talking fresh out of the mint, never been in a pocket kind of perfect.
If you find one that's shiny, crisp, and free of damage, you could be sitting on a literal goldmine. Not a few years ago, I was at a party, yes, a real party. Coin nerds can be social too. Someone made a bet that they could find more valuable things in their pocket than I could. They pulled out a $20 bill, some car keys, and a piece of gum. I reached into my pocket and, lo and behold, I had an old wheat penny I had been carrying around. The room went silent.
I looked it up on my phone, and guess what?
It was worth over $300. I won the bet, impressed everyone, and walked away feeling like a total legend.
The moral of the story?
You never know when a simple penny can change your life. Alright, folks, now it's your turn.
Start checking your pennies. Look for a 2019 penny with no mint mark.
If you find one, don't spend it on a vending machine snack, get it checked out immediately. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on money-making coin tips. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers.
Have you ever found a penny and thought, it's just a penny?
Well, what if I told you that one little penny, the 2009 Lincoln Formative Years DDR FS803, RD, could be worth $1.5 million?
Yeah, you heard that right.
A single cent that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, and still leave you enough for a lifetime supply of tacos. So today, we're diving deep into the story behind this penny, what makes it so special, how you can spot one, and of course, how you can turn pocket change into a fortune. Grab your coin jars, because by the end of this video, you might be sprinting to check your loose change. In 2009, the U.S. Mint released a special series of Lincoln pennies to celebrate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. There were 4 designs, each representing a different stage of Lincoln's life, and the one we're talking about today is the Formative Years design. It shows young Abe sitting on a log, reading a book, probably plotting how he was going to become one of the greatest presidents of all time. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Some of these pennies have what's called a double die reverse, DDR, specifically the FS803 variety. That means there was a mistake during the minting process that caused some of the details on the back of the coin to be doubled. And collectors love minting errors. It's like finding a rare Pokemon card but in coin form. On the reverse side, look closely at Lincoln's hands holding the book. If you see doubling, especially on his fingers, congratulations, you might be sitting on a gold mine. This penny is graded by color, RD, red, RB, red-brown, and BN, brown. The redder it is, the more valuable it is. So if your penny looks like it's been sunbathing in the Bahamas, that's a good sign. The DDR FS803 can appear on different mint marks, but the most valuable ones tend to be from the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Now, let's talk about value. Why is this penny worth $1.5 million? Well, like any collector's item, it comes down to rarity and demand. There aren't many of these in high-grade condition, and when you mix that with the fact that Lincoln collectors are some of the most passionate coin lovers out there, the price skyrockets. The highest graded specimens of this penny have sold for well over $1 million at auction. A few years ago, I was rummaging through some old change and found a 2009 Formative Years penny. My heart skipped a beat. I ran to grab a magnifying glass like a detective in a crime movie, checking Lincoln's hands like I was analyzing an ancient artifact. Sadly, no doubling. Just a regular old penny. But that moment changed how I look at coins forever. Now, every time I get change at a store, I double-check every single penny. Who knows? The next one could be the Formative Years DDR FS803 RD penny, a tiny piece of copper that could change your life. If you have old jars of pennies lying around, start digging. Check those hands. Look for that doubling. You never know, you could be holding $1 million mistake. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows, maybe one of you will be the next lucky collector to cash in on a hidden fortune.